Hey there folks, welcome to day 87 of the camper pod build. It's a big day today. We're getting back outside. Yeah, the snow is gone. It's been a long cold winter. And today we're going to be cutting the Roechling Foamlite. You may remember me showing you this like a few months ago. This is a polypropylene plastic that's essentially a substitute for plywood. And we're going to be using this for a lot of the cabinetry and other finer finishes in the camper pod. That there is, I think it's 1/4 of an inch, and we have some black stuff here that I think, I'll get the measurement for you later, but I think that looks closer to 1/2 inch. Could be a little off on that. But anyway, so that's what we're going to be doing today, breaking this down into smaller components, so that I can actually use my table saw to get some finer cuts. My wife went online and found this program to, I guess, maximize cuts, and she plugged all the dimensions of what we need from these 2 sheets of paper into the program, and it gave us this cut diagram. You can actually, I'll put the link to it down below if you're interested in giving it a whirl. I'm going to check all the measurements as we go, just in case, because the only thing that I really trust is my measuring tape. But with this, yeah, you can plug in the width of the blade and a few other factors, all you need, and it'll color code it and lay it out on the sheet. Now I think these sheets are 59 inches by 8 feet. 59 by 118 inches. That is the size. So let's break out some tools and start cutting. Well, it's taken a while to set up this Kreg Straightedge jig. I did have it set up trying to figure out how to cut it this way when I wanted to cut on the right hand side of the line, but it wouldn't work. So I had to, after trying many different options, frustrating options, I discovered that I had to cut it on this side with the saw in order to cut on this side of the line in this orientation. So anyway, ready to make my first cut is from here to here. Starting to snow a little bit. Oh, and the sun's coming out, which is nice. So I'm just going to make that cut and see how it goes. Make sure it's not going to cut into anything. Okay. Should be 48 underneath. To the other side of the line. Works well. Okay, got to get a vacuum cleaner, clean that up. I'm kind of getting the hang of this Kreg Straightedge now. It took me a long while to get it set up, but I had, like I said earlier, had to set it up for the short side. So it's seems to be working. And I always double check my measurements before I cut anything. Just make sure you push those back. Okay, now start to cut the next piece. After a day of cutting, I've got these pieces cut close to size, might need some final trimming. I've got all these pieces here cut to size. This here is extra, just in case we need to do anything else. And this piece here, that needs to be a couple of chunks. I'll show you. That is that section right there, 3 and 4 on all those strips. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to call it a day now, and then come out tomorrow and finish off piecing out those pieces right there. The decent weather of yesterday turned damp and snowy and cold for today. So I had to make one last cut, which is basically that last piece right there. Actually, it's two pieces. I've got to rip some pieces out of this, but I'm not going to be able to do it with my Kreg jig just because it's too narrow. So I'm going to make an outfeed table for my table saw by using one of those. I whipped these blocks together to go under the legs of the Pegasus work stand here. So that will bring it pretty much level with the top here of my old rigid portable table saw to give me a nice outfeed table for when I'm doing my final cuts on the plastic. You should probably check your table saw from time to time. I discovered that my fence was about 1/8 of an inch off. Luckily, I still have my owner's manual. I keep the owner's manual of all the stuff that I buy, and it showed me how to adjust it. So my fence is square. I also popped in an 80-tooth bimetal blade here, because bimetal, according to my little bit of research, is better for cutting plastic, and 80 teeth, the more teeth the better to get a finer cut. If I do notice that the plastic is melting and resealing, I may change the blade to something a little bit more aggressive, but I'll give this a whirl. Well, that's a wrap for day where I started working with the Foamlite, more specifically the 1/4-inch white stuff. My main goal was to break it down into break down the 59 by 118 sheets into more manageable pieces that I could rip on my table so I get down to the measurements that I needed. I broke down all of this into more manageable pieces. This here is leftover pieces that I can play with, because I'm not quite sure how it works yet, but so I've got to do some playing with it. And I actually ripped this down into more smaller pieces to use with the trim work. Once I figured out how this cut list program laid things out, it actually worked out quite well and allowed me to keep track of everything. Now, you may have noticed I'm wearing 2 sets of glasses. Well, you can thank my dear mom for that. She sent me a message and she said, "Honey, I really watch your videos and I really do like them, but I think you'd look much better if you took your glasses off." Well, I tried that and it didn't work out the best. Kidding. So anyway, folks, that's it for day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.